All right, welcome back, everybody. Liquid Sundays. It is Sunday, July 26th. Let's take a look at our stock market week in review, July 20th to the 24th, 2026. Major indices closed lower in a volatile week. Dow minus 0.4%, S&P minus 0.6%, NASDAQ minus 2.1%, excuse me. Main drivers, sharp tech and AI related sell off. Alphabet, Tesla, semiconductors hit hard on AI spending concerns. Oil surge above $100 midweek on Middle East tensions later erased and rising yields. What to watch this week, July 27th to the 31st. Mega earnings, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Amazon, Visa, Qualcomm, ARM, Exxon, Chevron, and others. Focus on AI spend, guidance on consumer trends. FOMC decision on Wednesday, July 29th, expected hold. The tone is key. We'll look to see what his presser is like. And data, durable goods Monday, consumer confidence Tuesday, PCE inflation Thursday. Expect heightened volatility from the combination of big tech results, the Fed, and the inflation data. And if you look here, you can see all of the specific data and the times for all the events this week. All right. So let's take a look at our SPX monthly. Here we have, you can see, monthly fair value gap created pretty much from March, April, and May. So this is, the key breakout here that we had in April. And if you look here, we're trading right around the middle of this upper candle here from May, top to bottom. So nothing too concerning yet. Obviously, a little pullback. We got previous month high, which is also all-time high. That's 76.20. And we've got previous month low, which is 72.34. So that's June. And we'll just hop right over to our little fib tool here. And we'll just snap a high to low there from the previous month. And you can see we're trading right below our, we'll call it our monthly pivot, right? 74.28. We closed, this is the cash session here. So we closed at 74.11.98 on Friday. That's the monthly picture. We'll hop over here to the right. We've got our weekly picture here, a little bit more detailed. Previous month high, previous week high, previous week low, previous month low. So, obviously we're trading in this range here. This is the previous week's candle. We'll take our fib tool here. And we'll just snap a high to low there. And we'll call our weekly pivot heading into this week 74.51. So from 74.51 down to, you can see here that looks like the 236 level here is kind of where we closed at. We'll see, this is the first kind of resistance that I would like to see us get back over. That's 74.51 level here. And down below, you can see support from the week 73.75. Should we break down 73.75, we'll look to this week's low candle, which is 73. 73.40, 46-ish. And then this swing low here, 72.90, 95-ish, we'll call it. And then obviously the previous month low, 72.35. But we'll just take our fib and snap it this way so we can get the extension to the downside. 72.82 is a breakdown of is the weekly kind of extension down to this level here. So that's the weekly levels. Daily levels a lot tighter, obviously. You can see Friday's candle here, kind of a little topping tail here, and a gap up above, obviously. But if you want to take that candle there, we'll do the same thing. Previous day high, you can see previous day high, previous week low, previous day low. You can see this is kind of the equilibrium area between the bigger range here. But we'll just take the Friday's candle here and kind of the immediate support from Friday is going to be 73.96. The low from Thursday, 73.68. And daily breakdown of Friday's candle below Thursday's candle is about 73.56. And last but not least, the hourly chart here, obviously very choppy. Still technically in a triangle. Obviously, we're testing lower boundaries here. There's that. There's what the hourly chart looks like inside the triangle here. So, and then you can obviously make a case for smaller, shorter time frames, right? Like we had a little bear flag there that looked like it was going to break down. It went back up, went back down inside that range there. A little gap down here. So, and then this is obviously Friday's action here. So here's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's kind of the week was kind of choppy, kind of trying to work its way, build out this little flag here, and then gap down. Obviously Thursday, little pump to Friday, and kind of close back down near the low here. So as far as the SPX is concerned, we're still choppy and range bound. I think it's worth looking at the Qs. Here's our monthly QQQ candles. You can see here again, fair value gap, monthly fair bullish fair value gap here, and there was also one printed from April, May, June, and there technically is one still from. There's a little bit of gap here from May, June, July, although we're coming back into the range there. So on the QQQs. And again, you can see kind of notated here, previous month high, previous month low. If we look at the weekly candle here on the Qs, you've got previous month high, previous week high, previous month low, previous week low. The other thing that is relevant for me and many others, I'm sure, I'm looking at, we'll just look at some EMAs here. And if you look at the weekly, 21 on QQQ. We are almost there. And that's notated here. So it's looks like 60, 80, 60, 80, 45, something like that is what TradingView is telling us. So this is obviously a weekly mean reversion here. If you look at this now on the daily, we are, clearly below that mean here. And it looks like we also had a close below the June lows. We were looking at this triangle pattern and clearly broke down from this triangle pattern here on the Qs. And, this is obviously going to be kind of key support here. So we are now in a bit of a downtrend, obviously, on some lower time frames. If you look at, 4 hour to the downside, right? The hourly to the downside here. But I don't want to get too bearish yet. I would, we do have change of character here, but I would be just a little vigilant heading into this week with big tech earnings. Obviously, we had, part of the reason for this decline here had a lot to do with Google, had a lot to do with Tesla. If we look at let me just take a look at, hold on. Let's take a look at the Google chart here for a second. So Google is essentially back at this major trend line support. So I wouldn't doubt if there is a rebound in the next couple days or so. I would definitely be watching this trend line here on the weekly. Pretty significant, drawdown from all-time highs here. We've got about 20%, 22% to be precise, from the May highs here. So let's see if Google's going to bounce in the next couple days or so. And then Tesla. Did break this kind of trend line from 2024 down slightly here. I'll look to see if this area here from this breakout from this little flag is going to be kind of a significant area. Obviously, this is the breakout that brought us back to a new all-time high before we kind of peaked out here. So breaking down this trend line on a weekly is definitely not the most encouraging, but let's see if the demand area from last June kind of works in our favor for a bounce here. This is as far as cycles go, an area of interest, Tesla does tend to bounce in the summer months. So, obviously, this drawdown here, pretty significant candle, but maybe we'll get a little snapback here on some sympathy from other big tech earnings. All right, so that is kind of what I'm looking at as far as SPX and some big tech expectations.